Dear friends, good evening. Welcome to our channel. So today we will discuss about the new technology, blockchain technology. I choose this technology because so many queries and calls come to me asking about the technology, what is blockchain and Bitcoin, Ethereum, smart contract. So I plan to make a video about what is blockchain, how it works, and what is digital currency, how digital currency functions, and what are the different kind of technologies are used here in block means digital transactions. So to go to the next slide, I will introduce myself. My name is Ratnagar Pallai, and my educational background is I am MTech in IT and MBA. So total 20 years of working experience in across IT industry. Currently, working technical advisor and ICT managers and providing technical supports to various organizations. I am having some international certifications from Microsoft Corporation, Cisco Systems, and Exim. Also, I am a manager in new partnership program, motivational speaker, and a member of Blockchain Council, California, USA. I am also continuing one course called CB, Certified Blockchain Expert, from that organization, Blockchain Council. So, okay, friends, we will go to the next slide. What you will hear today. Basically, today's topic is what is blockchain and Bitcoin, Ethereum, smart contract, DApp, decentralized application, and decentralized autonomous organization. So, before going to start discussing about the blockchain technology, we will discuss about some issues which currently banking system and other transaction systems are facing. So why this? Because before going to the actual blockchain technology, we will discuss why this technology, what is the benefit, and what are the demerits of the previous technology which are there in the banking system and the transaction system. So you can find out these are the basically some drawbacks which are there. First is high transaction fees. This is basically used in this is applicable for the banking system. If you are going to do the cross-border payments, means if someone is in the outside India, like anywhere in the world, and we are going to do some transactions and we're going to send some funds INR to them. So basically, what happens? This INR is going to convert into USD or as per the local currency to the receiver's account. So what happens there? The transaction fees is high. Basically, we call these are remittance fees. So when I will send INR to someone who is there at USA or Russian country or any European country, so these INRs are going to be converted into the different currency. So the transaction fees approximately 10 to 15% of the transaction fees are going to be deducted by the bank. And if you see this transaction is also takes generally 7 days to credit to the corresponding. If I will make a transaction today, so it is going to credit minimum 1 week. And the second thing is you say centralized system for data recovery. Centralized system means there is a central database. If the database corrupts, so entire data is going to be lost. Okay. So it is very difficult to recover the data. So it is called as poor data recovery. And double spending. Double spending is also one topic, because what happens sometimes if you have done a transaction which is in the pending, suppose transaction is not successful, it is in pending state, you can also, or suppose if you do not know that the transaction is done or not, or doubtfully, you can do another transaction. Means suppose if you have 10,000 in your account, you made a transaction of 7,000 which is pending, not successful. So in second time you can also do the again same transaction of 7,000 or higher. So actually, if you think in your bank account only 10,000 is there, but you have done two transactions, 7,000, another is again maybe 7 or 8 like this. So when it is going to be confirmed, then that case that problem will occur, or it may not be clear. But two transaction is going to be initiated, which is not going to be happen in the new technology. I will go to the next slide. That this concept will be more clear in that. And last another thing is hacking. Hacking knowledge, all persons are aware about hacking. Uh, so data are going to be hacked. So this is the blockchain technology. This blockchain, what happens, this is filled up with so many features. The features which I told you, sorry, not features, the problems, the means the yes, exactly, the problems or the disadvantages you can call, which are occurred there. Here, these things are going to be solved. So basically, if you think, what is actually blockchain? So I have gone through so many videos, so many books. So I have also gone through so many online tutorials. So what I find that gist I have written here, blockchain is a distributed database of immutable records called blocks, which are secured using cryptography. So it is a distributed database. Database is not going to be stored in a particular location. So in a blockchain environment, the database is a distributed. Means there is no central database. So database are available in all the miners. Basically, the miners concept will come later. The persons those are going to verify the transactions here, these persons are called as miners. So here the database is not available in a single location, rather it is spread over the blockchain network, and which are secured by using cryptography. Cryptography is a techniques, or you can call it a, basically it is a techniques, or by using some sort of language, we are using this technology, these techniques to secure your data. There are so many techniques are available in this blockchain. So you will see like so many languages, so many algorithms, like Bitcoin uses SHA-256 algorithm. So that will, because this is again deep concept. So this basically presentation of this video is only just for a introduction video. Then later on I will develop some more videos on blockchain or detail on blockchain technology. So currently also new is going to introduce some two, not two, three more technology based product like data mining, which is going to be launched in near future, and secondly digital doubles, and Yugen project will come after 2 to 3 months. So I am also going through these presentations. So later on I will also make this video, make videos on data mining, digital doubles, and Eugen. So this is a distributed ledger system and that can record transactions between parties efficiently in a variable and permanent way. Variable means it is more perfect. Verification is very strong. Those who have associated with the blockchain network, you may find there are some confirmations, verification confirmations. If you do a transaction, so after 6 confirmations, the receiver is going to be uh, receive the fund. So if you think here, this confirmations is very secured and also very fast. That case, we have seen that one transaction, if you are going to do in a previous techniques, so it takes around 1 week. Here, within half an hour, 10 to 30 minutes, this transaction is going to be successful and the receiver is going to be receive the money. So in simple terms, a chain of blocks that contain information is called blockchain. So here what happens, each block contains the information of the another block. In the technology, when I was studying in my MSc or in MTech IT, we taught there is a concept of linked list. Those who are familiar with this technology, linked list in the data in C language, there was a concept of linked list. Linked list means what? Each link consists the address or the pointer of another link. Here some concept is implemented here. Chain of blocks. Each block contains the information about the next block. The future block or the next block also contains the information about the previous block. So that is the chain of that. That's why we are calling this chain of block. So you see why? Blockchain solve these issues. Decentralized system, which I have told you, there is no central database. Database is or the ledger is distributed among the miners. If one computer is corrupted, so other miners are there or other minor computers are there, which is going to provide you the data. Immutable records, immutable to hack. No double spending. It means that once the transaction is in pending state, you cannot initiate another transaction. So technology, I will show you in this will come in the different slide. Low transaction fees. In the traditional method, 10 to 15% of money is going to be spent for remittances workers. Here, only 1 to 2% maybe, depends upon the blockchain network or the speed or the transaction method you choose, because there are some different fee structures. So standard basically generally takes 1 to 2%. If you choose some speed, then maybe 3 or like that. So very less transaction. So features we have already discussed. Public distributed ledger, encryption. Encryption means what? Encryption means converting the data into a different kind of format that which cannot be easily readable. So that is called as encryption. This is a technical term. And the technology is proof of work algorithm and mining. These are features of blockchain. Mining we will discuss a little bit in the mining here. See how blockchain works. See, Jack is a person wants to send money to Elsa. Elsa is a different person. Jack is the sender. Elsa is the receiver. The requested transaction sent to peer-to-peer network of computers first. The transaction sent to node is verified by a set of people called miners. Just I have told you that miners are the people, those are going to do the verification job. These people are called are the miners. So Once verified, the transaction is combined with other transactions and create a new block in the blockchain. Suppose if I send money, or if Elsa, Jack send money to Elsa, so this is the procedure. This needs to be passed through. It will go to the peer computer and it will go to the blockchain network, and the miners are going to verify. But they will verify. They will verify whether Jack has that particular amount with him or not first. If it is okay, then the authentication is going to be verified. The passwords and everything, the public key, private key, there is a big concepts are there, public key and private, and handshaking method is going to be used there. So once it is verified, everything is okay, then Elsa receive the amount finally. So this is the application where blockchains are going to be used nowadays. So many cases the blockchains are used. So basically transaction system, voting system, supply chain, insurance, accounting, and many more. Some, I think in Dubai airport they have already implemented blockchain technology. So many companies are going to be implemented blockchain technology, already implemented. Walmart, British Airways, Maersk, Brilliant Earth, and many more companies. These are some headings I have given. You can find. You can go to Google and find out. So many companies are going to use blockchain technology, and also using that technology. So already there is a concept, there is a term Bitcoin. All are aware about that Bitcoin. So in last, I think 2016 to this to 2020, 4 to 5 years, this Bitcoin is more highlighted in India, or not in India, in the world. So what is actually Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first decentralized digital currency that allows users to transfer peer-to-peer without any immediate using blockchain. Without an intermediate. Why it is intermediate? You see, when I am going to transfer money from my account to my friend who is there at USA or Australia or Russia, so I need to use the third party, the bank or any third party, private party, Western Union money transfer, or any third party organization who will transfer my fund from my account to my friend's account. Here, no third party is required. If your friend having Bitcoin account and I am having Bitcoin account, I can directly send Bitcoin to that person. So this is the first decentralized digital currency which is used blockchain technology to transfer the money from one account to another account. This technology, basically we can tell that, or we can say that blockchain is first used with the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin used the blockchain technology for transaction purpose. So Bitcoin used for online purposes for transferring, and Bitcoin helps transferring asset in faster than the fiat currency. So what is the advantages? Faster peer-to-peer transaction, cryptographically secured, decentralized process, low transaction fees, personal information of user is hidden. So these are the basically advantages, which detail also we have discussed. You see some points about Bitcoin. The first block was mined on 9th January 2009. 824. You can go to the blockchain network, you can find out. So total supply will be 21 million. Till that 18, not 18, I think it may be more. I have made this slide some days before. So you can find out just 1 minute. 1 minute. I can check in the blockchain network. So till today, this number of bitcoins are already mined. Yes, 18 plus millions of bitcoins has already mined. Okay. So the last Bitcoin is estimated to be mined in the year 2140. Why? Because there is a techniques. What is the technique? Technique is that every year that Bitcoin mining is 50% less, because that is a techniques used. Means each block, when the block is going to be constructed, a coin is going to be mined. I think currently 12.5 bitcoins are going to be produced for when one block is going to be generated. So the first Bitcoin transaction was made on 22nd May 2010 by Aslow Henry at Jackson Valley, Florida. So the thing is that this is the means this is the internal transaction, but actually the total no, not total. The first commercial transaction was made when one pizza was purchased by 10,000 Bitcoin. So that was the first commercial transaction. Okay. So this is what about Ethereum. Ethereum is a blockchain-based distributed computing platform that enables developers to build and deploy their decentralized applications. So all thought that Ethereum is a coin. No, Ethereum is not a coin. Ethereum is a blockchain-based distributed computing platform. Ethereum is a platform where we can build applications which are not run by a centralized authority. Here we can say Ethereum allows us to build and deploy dApp. So Ethereum is a platform where it is a blockchain based computing platform where we can deploy our own smart contract, where we can deploy our own network. So Ethereum has its own coin. That coin name is Ether, ETHER. That is the coin which is managed by Ethereum network. You see, features of Ethereum allows to use its own cryptocurrency, Ether, the thing which I told you that Ethereum has its own cryptocurrency, that name is Ether, which is available in all the what exchanges. Those generally we call that is Ethereum, but actually that name is Ether and Ethereum is the platform. So what can we do with Ethereum platform? We can develop our own smart contract, and dApp means decentralized application, and DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations, that we can develop. As you know that CRU is already implemented the blockchain which is based on Ethereum platform. And ERC20 is, I think, the token, the programming techniques which are used there. So you see, Ether, but short term is ETH. Bitcoin, we generally call this is BTC, Bitcoin. Ether, that short form is ETH. So Ethereum has its own cryptocurrency called Ether, ETH. The first block was mined on 30 July 2015, 8:56 time. Total supply not exceed than 100 million. Till today, I have not any idea. I need to check in the Explorer. So, like BTC, Ether is a peer-to-peer currency. Means third party is not required to do the transaction. The peer-to-peer means direct one person to another person. That is called as peer-to-peer, or one PC to another PC, or one person to another person. So Then what is smart contract? Because smart contract is a technological term which are used nowadays very much. Smart contracts are self-executing contracts which contains the term and conditions of an agreement between the peers. What it means generally, I will show you one. I will give you an example. Suppose if I am going to do a agreement, it may be a house rent agreement, it may be some flat agreement, it may be any kind of agreement. Generally, what we did here, we made an agreement, we purchased the court papers, we hire a lawyer, then we are going to do the agreement and we are going to register these agreements with the third party. So here in the digital smart contracts, you can call this self-executing. Some sort of programs are there, some sort of terms and conditions are there. If particular terms and conditions are going to fulfill, then something is going to be executed. That is the basic objective of a smart contract. Suppose I will make a smart contract that suppose you think this is an example of a flight. If the flight is going to be delayed for 1 hour, then automatically the fare of the passengers will be credited to their bank account. So that is a smart contract I have made. So smart contract is going to every time check the time. The flight is going to be dispatched or not. If it is not going to be departure or dispatched and the time has, suppose scheduled time is 8 a.m. So if it is not dispatched till 9 a.m., so automatically without waiting anyone, the smart contract will execute by itself and the payment will be initiated and it will be credited to the customer account. Means it will determine that the contract is written in such a way that, means this is one type of example I have given. So it will not wait for someone. So generally what happens? Generally, if anything deviate in the conventional contracts, so we will go to the court, then court will be do the hearings, then it will give its judgment, then this will be finalized. So here the program is written in such a way that if this condition will be true, then something will execute. If this condition is false, then something will execute. So it will not wait someone to decide. So that is, it is called as self-executing contracts. The next is it eliminates the need of intermediaries and escrow services. The thing I have told you, that if you are going to do a conventional contract, we need a lawyer, or we are going to do the contracts with the third party is compulsory. So here it eliminates the third party. So it is between peer. Peer means the sender and the receiver. There is some sort of programs. If this is true, then this is going to execute. We will see, because in our CRU, when it is going to be launched, or our external actions is going to be launched in I think in September. So basically these smart contracts are there which are going to do the inter-transaction or some sort of conditions or validations. So it executes in blockchain's decentralized platform. So these agreements facilitates the exchange of money. It may be shares, it may be property, it may be transactions, or it may be any other things. So you can create a smart contracts, or companies are going to create their own smart contracts for their own system or for their own transactions. Okay, what happens in the smart contracts? As I told you, agreement is coded in a program. result is verified by users of Ethereum blockchain network. Those are basically called the miners. Once the contract is executed, it cannot be tampered because that is shared between the miners. One miner, if one miner will tamper the contract, it will automatically, it will not verify because other miners or other miner computers are going to deviate, are going to oppose. So it is not going to be tampered or it is not going to be altered. So what is decentralized application? So just we will go through a overview because in next presentation I will show you the detail. So DApp means decentralized application, consists of backend code that runs on a distributed P2P network. Distributed means what? P2P means it is a backend code. Back code is already there, which uh, which runs in a distributed. Distributed means peer-to-peer network, point-to-point network. An application qualifies as DApp when it is open source and uses token, and code should be available in the GitHub. GitHub is it is a website. That is again very means the open source means the code needs to be published there. So in the GitHub, so it is that in that case that will be called as DApp. So it provides direct interaction between users and decentralized application providers. So means so that it is called as peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer means the decentralized application provider and user. There is a direct interaction between the decentralized application provider and the user. So there is no intermediary. So DApp is the application which is going to establish this type of transaction. Means between the decentralized application provider and the user. Okay. The next is our decentralized autonomous organizations, DAO. What is actually DAO? DAO is a digital organization that aims to operate without the need of hierarchical management. Means there is no hierarchy. Means decision DAO is an organization where decision making should not be in the hand of a central authority. See, there should be not a single person who is going to be decide everything, because in a decentralized autonomous organization, when a group of persons are there, group of peoples are there, those are going to be make the decision. So it should be in the hand of certain designated authority or a group of designated authority. We can take our example in our new group, a new community. We can say that we have some groups: presidential council, leadership council. So what does it mean? When some decisions are going to be made, so first our CEO or our finance officer, they are going to, as from the webinars I came to know that they are going to discuss with our leadership councils or presidential councils. So after decision or after discussion, then that thing or that decision making is going to be finalized. Means it is not going to be, or the decision is not in the hand of a single person. So group of persons are there for decision making. So that is called as a decentralized autonomous organization. So that is the main feature of a DAO. So it exists on the blockchain network where it governs by its protocols and rely upon some smart contracts. Means what? Some smart contracts are written and some protocols are there. Protocol means rules and regulations are there. which are available in the blockchain network. So because each and every company, they have some sort of code of conduct, some sort of means rules and regulation, some system is there. So here in a decentralized autonomous organization, everything is written in the form of a smart contract. Everything is written. Suppose you see the smart contract is written that our CRU is going to be unblocked within certain period of interval. So automatically, if that period is qualifies, automatically 1% is going to be released. Again, 30 days, 1% is going to be released. Means these things are written in a smart contracts that automatically this is going to be happens on its own. So no one is there to authorize or to approve. So once this condition is fulfilled, then automatically smart contracts are going to be executed and the transaction is going to be done on its own. So it manages business decisions through smart contracts or voting system. Like that, I think in a new company we have seen there are some voting systems for loyalty bonus program, for different things. We have, I think you all have already participated in the voting system for decision making. So a decentralized autonomous organization means it fulfills all these criteria. Means decision making is not in the hand of a single person. There are a group of persons are there, and they should take the help of voting system for their owners, for their other means board of directors. So this happens in the case of a decentralized autonomous organizations. Okay, friend. This was for today's presentation. So, what we discuss? We discuss about what is blockchain technology, how blockchain technology works, what is Ethereum, and what is Ether, what is dApp, what is Bitcoin, what is our Ethereum coin or Ethereum not coin, sorry, Ether platform and Ethereum platform and Ether coin, and then decentralized autonomous organizations. Okay, so uh, today for this much. If this video likes you, or if you think that is helps for getting some information, please share the video and subscribe our channel. Okay, thank you so very much. Let us watch.